All right, we're starting. So some of the feedback I got was that my speech is too long, so I'm going to do my best to shorten it. Thank you, Practice Center. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to dive right in. One of the greatest things in this life is sleep. There's a saying going around the internet these days, and it goes something along the lines of, as an adult, I want to cash in on all the naps I refused to take as a child. Napping is one of the greatest activities we can participate in as adults. And I'm not just saying that because I take 12 credits a semester and I work 40 hours a week. Well, I guess I should technically say I'm not only saying it because of that. Those are great influences on why I say that. There was once a time in our society when naps didn't really mean much. Like people look down on you, like, oh, you're taking a nap, you're lazy. But science has jumped on board the napping boat and have released a lot of evidence from scientific studies that show why napping is great. One of the biggest problems currently facing our world is depression, and not just the, oh, poor me, feel sorry for me, pity party that literally everybody in the world could hold on any day, but actual clinical depression. A study from the University of Hertfordshire to back up this evidence that out of 1,000 participants who took a short nap, shorter than 30 minutes a day, 66% of those people reported having a greater sense of overall happiness than those who didn't take naps or who took naps but were longer than 30 minutes. And not only will you avoid depression by doing this, you will also avoid making mistakes. NASA did a study where military pilots and astronauts took a 40-minute nap once a day, and they were able to improve their performance by an average of 34% and their alertness by an amazing 100% from one 40-minute nap. Napping just doesn't help those who have to think critically and have to be alert all the time, like a pilot or an astronaut, like I mentioned a second ago, but naps also help the creative mind. Georgetown University Center for Functional and Molecular Imaging, I got that right, recently released an informed experiment from the research where people who took a nap, that they have their left brain, which is known for being the more logical side of the brain, rests, and it doesn't do anything. It's actually resting, and it's just a state of peace. But the right brain, the right side of the brain, which is known for creativity and doing the big picture, doesn't only communicates with itself, and it doesn't have the left side of the brain to throw in logic as to why these details wouldn't really work, and that you're able to be more creative if you take more naps. Now, granted, a lot of these ideas I'm throwing out there are really only for your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. But napping also helps your physical body as well. According to a press release from the European Society of Cardiology, patients who slept for 60 minutes midday significantly lowered their blood pressure compared to patients who did not take a nap. There's a quote from the researchers that said, "We found that midday sleep is associated with lower 24-hour blood pressure and an enhanced fall of BP at night, and less damage to arteries and the heart. The longer the midday sleep, the lower the systolic blood pressure levels, and probably fewer drugs needed to lower the blood pressure." Not only do naps help lower your blood pressure, but they actually help your blood pumper, which is to say your heart. The Harvard School of Public Health, the HSPH, and the University of Athens Medical School in Greece conducted a research experiment where they tested over 23,000 individuals whose ages ranged from 20 years old to 86 years old, and conducted an experiment over the course of 6 years that individuals who took one 30-minute nap a day 3 times a week had a 37% lower risk of heart disease than those who didn't take their 3 siestas a week. Being a student, I focus a lot on learning, and not just learning, but actually retaining what I've learned. And I personally need all the help I can get from this, so it's no wonder that colleges and universities are very much invested in keeping their students being able to retain the knowledge they're being taught. The University of University of California asked its participants to do an experiment. And this experiment consisted of completing a challenging event at noon and then another one at 2. And 50% of the participants took an hour and a half nap in between noon and 2, and the other 50% stayed awake. The result being that the 50% who took a nap did better in the afternoon challenge than they did in the morning challenge, while those who stayed awake did even worse in the afternoon than they did in the morning. The main point that I'm trying to drive home here is that napping is amazing. It's not for the lazy, it's not for the tired who just don't want to have to deal with life problems. It's for everybody. It helps our bodies, it helps our hearts, it helps our minds, it helps our creativity. And I'm not just saying this because I think everyone needs to take 12 credits and work for 40 hours. It doesn't matter. Napping is amazing. You should try it. If you don't believe me, give it a try. Let me know how it works out for you.